We're here at the Wharton Business School, the first business school in the United States, university founded by Benjamin Franklin. As a mystic and as a guru, what do you think about business? Capitalism, business, entrepreneurialism.
The success of a nation, unfortunately, a lot of people understand as success of its military or its politics. But essentially, the success of a business is rooted… success of a nation is rooted in its business. How successful the businesses are, that's how successful a nation is. This is something that's been lost in various philosophies that have taken over the world. But forever, this has been the truth, that whichever nation had successful businesses, those nations always succeeded. So, and there is no substitute for success.
So in today's world, where do you see society, the world pressures, pushing businesses, both in ways that are incredibly powerful and constructive, but also in ways that are perhaps destructive?
I keep hearing this, that in today's world there is so much pressure. I feel today's world is a lot more easier than ever before. At least nobody's threatening your life every moment as it used to be in the past. It is just that in today's world, probably for a variety of reasons, human beings are physically at their weakest. Never before human generations have been as physically weak as we are today, because technology does everything for us and we are not using our bodies as we would have used it 100, 200 years ago, which in turn is telling upon the fragility of our minds too. And nothing is being done about the inner strength of a human being. Constantly our entire education process is focused on how to fix the outside world. Nothing much at all being done about how to prepare this one for the world. We are trying to prepare the world for this one. No, we need to prepare this one for the world. Education systems have not focused on this at all.
I know many folks might have thought of you, if they hadn't seen that video, as a philosophizing guru, but I know you as an action-oriented leader. Tell me about your leadership style and the approach that you've taken and some of the things that your organizations have been able to accomplish that one would have never thought were possible without leadership.
When you ask about leadership style, it reminds me, a few years ago, I was doing a program, a 2-day event for top 25 executives of Microsoft India. And I had a few volunteers around me, as usual. Even now, everything is being done by the volunteers. And our volunteers are always on full buzz. So they noticed how the volunteers are going about doing things without anybody managing them. So after some time, they asked me, Sadhguru, where do you get such people? You know, they're always looking for attrition. I said, you don't get such people, you got to make them. They asked, how do you make them? I said, you got to make them fall in love with you. How do you do that? I said, first you got to fall in love with them. They said, oh, they don't pay us for that. So that's the fundamental impediment for most people. What are they paid for, what are they not paid for? You're not paid to live anyway. Nobody paid you to live this many years, so if somebody doesn't pay you, why don't you fall dead, huh? So, essentially it's this. If people have to stand up and do something for you, you have to make them fall in love with you. If they have to fall in love with you, you have to be in a certain way, which is not something that you do only when people are looking at you. It's something that you become in every way. If you become like that, then you will see everything around you cooperates, not just the people. The entire world cooperates. The five elements around you will cooperate. Everything will happen that way. In terms of impediments or in terms of… At every step, people always think, this is not possible, that is not possible. People fear that this may happen, that may not happen. When we launch major projects, when I when I said, for example, they were showing the Green Hands project, when I just noticed in Tamil Nadu, which is the southernmost state in India, and a lot of rivers were going dry and the forests were being cleared, a United Nations organization, one of the branches of that, came and made a prediction by 2025, 60% of Tamil Nadu will become a desert. I don't like predictions, because predictions are based on the cold facts of today, but they never take into account what's beating in a human heart. But things happen because of what's beating in human hearts right now, not because of the cold facts of yesterday. So, when I saw this, I just said, we can reverse this, what's the problem? Then we made a simple barefoot calculation, and I said, if we plant 114 million trees in 8 to 10 years, in about 15 to 20 years, we'll have 33% green cover in the state. And I said, let's do this. People thought I was crazy. So our people said, Sadhguru, how is this possible? 114 million trees, do you know what that is? Where are we going to plant it? How are we going to plant it? Who is going to plant it? I said, see, what's your population? The population of the state at that time was 62 million. I said, if all of us plant one tree today, take care of it for 2 years and plant one more, you got the number. It is just that we never think in these terms, we always think what is possible, what is not possible. What is possible and what is not possible is not our business, that's nature's business. Our business is to see what is it that we want to do, what is the result we want. Possible, not possible, times and nature will decide, not for you and me to decide.
Young leaders that you've seen, where have been the susceptibilities, the vulnerabilities that over time they can work their way through, maybe giving them a little bit of guidance now can help?
I think the biggest problem with the so-called leaders of the day is we're not really producing leaders, we're just producing managers and supervisors. They come out as leaders and they suffer every moment of their life, this is what I'm saying. Because leadership doesn't come because of your ambition. Leadership happens… See, let's understand this. Ambition means you're tweaking up your desire, which is waste of time, because your desires are based on what's happening around you or what has happened till now. An exaggerated version of what's around you is your desire. You can't desire something that you have not seen. You only desire something that you have seen, mildly exaggerated or overly exaggerated, it depends who you are. But leadership is about being able to take a group of people or a nation or the entire world in a direction and to a destination that they have not imagined possible. If it's something that they could imagine, they don't need you. They need a leader because he should be capable of taking them to a place where they themselves cannot imagine possible. For this, a leader needs a profound sense of insight. When I say insight, that you're able to see something that other people cannot see. It's like, when you say a leader, in some way you're sitting on a perch. If you sit on a perch and don't see any better than others, you will become an object of ridicule. When you sit up there, you must be able to see better than others. Only if you're seeing better than others, you're a natural leader. Otherwise, you're a force leader. When you're a force leader, everybody suffers you and you suffer them in turn, and it's an endless process of misery. So, the fundamental thing that's missing is insight. When I say insight, people are interested in doing things, but they're not interested in working upon themselves. If you believe that what you're doing is important, the most important thing in your life is to work upon yourself, to enhance your perception skills, to be able to see what others cannot see. You have an insight into what you wish to do. It is not even a question of what do I wish to do, it is a question of what is most needed right now. Because if you do what's needed, only then it's leadership. If I do something that's fanciful to me, then there'll be nobody behind because this is all about me. I think this is what is missing. There is no vision of what is needed. Everybody has petty ambitions. I say petty because after all, what they want a piece of the planet. Some people want a big chunk, some people want a small chunk. Their size of what they can bite keeps increasing, but still it's a petty ambition because it's just an exaggeration of what you have already seen. All desires come from what you already know, a small exaggeration of that. So, the young leaders, the most important thing is that you don't tweak your desire in the name of ambition. You tweak your competence. If you keep on tweaking your competence, depending upon the times in which we live, opportunities that come up in front of us, naturally you will fall into the rhythm of what is there. If you have an enormous competence, then I don't think the world can put you down.